Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's great to see you all here. I am joined today by Councilmember Ed Harris, and he is the newest member to the Committee on the Environment, and also joined by Ken Weinberg. He's the Director of Water Resources from the San Diego County Water Authority. Today at the Committee on the Environment, we will be talking about the city's ongoing steps to address our drought conditions here in our region. We all know that water conservation is a way of life for San Diegans, and San Diegans have been doing a great job over the last several years conserving water. Last year was a record dry year, though, here in California. Northern and Central California have been hit the hardest. As you can see in the map that I've distributed to you all and that I have here, this measures the amount of precipitation in the Sierra, which is one of the main sources of water to us here in San Diego. And last year, 2012, 2013, we were below average once again. And so, as a result, we saw that the governor declared a drought in California past February. Our regional partner, the San Diego County Water Authority, quickly responded to this and to address these dry conditions. Now, we've got to be clear. San Diego's water supply is stable for this year. That is in large part due to our current conservation efforts. But as we see drought conditions continue, San Diegans need to be doing more to make sure that this is the way we're going forward in conservation. And we know that we can because we've done it before. 5 years ago, we cut our water consumption by 20% in response to the drought conditions back then. And as you can see in the other graph that we've distributed, since 2009 to 2011, there was a significant drop-off in water use. Again, almost 20%. We are hoping that with the action today, San Diegans will continue to hear the message of conservation and of restricting their water use to only those times when it's absolutely necessary. This afternoon, the committee will discuss instituting what are voluntary drought restrictions. The drought response level 1, it's a drought watch condition, is something that the city puts into place when there is a possibility of a water supply shortage due to drought. The goal this time around is to conserve 10% of water reduction to make sure that we can continue to meet the anticipated demands going into the future. In addition to the permanent water conservation measures that we already have in place in the city, there are a few more today that we will be discussing and that we hope we will approve. Those include limiting landscape irrigation to 3 times per week. If you don't have an irrigation system that automatically shuts off, we will be asking that you use a shut-off nozzle so that your garden hose can be turned off upon your stop of usage. We want to limit washing vehicles from the hours of 10 to 6 p.m. From June to October, and 10 to 4 p.m. from November to May. We want to ask that we use recycled water for construction purposes. And we do not want to irrigate during rainy weather season. I am confident that by working together, we can achieve these goals. Once again, we've done it before. San Diegans can help our region conserve its water supply, just as they did during the last drought. With that, I'd like to ask Councilmember Ed Harris, the newest member of the Committee on the Environment, to share with us some of his thoughts on conservation, water conservation, and what we can do as San Diegans to ensure that we are playing a vital role in this voluntary measure. Ed.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank Councilmember Alvarez for his continued leadership and his work as the chair of the Environmental Committee. Truly, David's a leader in the sustainability and promoting conservation and natural resources, and it's appreciated in my district as it is the rest of the city. We live in a beautiful city. But one day, but with dry climate, we know that we have dry climate, and sustainability and water conservation, it needs to be a way of life, and it needs to continue to be a way of life. It's important to remember that conservation helps us to protect our oceans, avoiding runoff. Every drop that you conserve avoids that carrying pollutants into the ocean. And so for you that surf, dive, fish, use our ocean ways, understand that the stuff that's in your lawns, stuff that's on the street gets carried into the ocean. So if we're seeing water run down the street, you need to look at that and see where that source is coming from. Some additional measures San Diegans can take to conserve water is to start at your own home. consider replacing some of your older washing machines and other appliances with more water efficient appliances. The city has a great program. It's a water use survey, and it's free to the public. So you can go to the city website. You can have someone come out from the city for free and give you ideas on both inside and outside on how you can save water. That's a great resource. Outdoors, as David said, check your sprinklers. Make sure they're not broken. Make sure that they're in good working order, and that they're not set on automatic timers that come up when it's rainy or you don't need to water that particular day. Rain barrels. I use rain barrels at my house. I've got a catchment system, and you can get rebates from the city to use those kind of systems, and it's very effective. We use it at our house for irrigation and a couple fruit trees that we have in the backyard. There are rebates for many other water efficiency devices, and you can go to SoCalWaterSmart.com to learn more about those rebates. Let's not forget about the city's own water conservation website, www.wastenowater.org. For me personally, I was able to, when we did the construction of our house, put in artificial turf and to put in, again, a catchment system as well as permeable pavers, stuff that help out in the environment. And so there's little things we can do. It's the best place that we can start is at our home. But every drop counts, and we want small or large. Turn off the water in between brushing your teeth, you're shaving. All those little things add up into big savings. So, again, I want to thank Councilman Alvarez for all his leadership in doing this. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to him.
Thank you. We're also joined this afternoon by the Director of the Public Utilities Department, who has been working really hard to ensure that we do the right thing when it comes to water conservation, water usage, and keeps us informed all the time. Our Director, Hala Razak, is here. Hala, you want to share a few words?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, council members. It is really my pleasure to be here in front of you today and kind of let you know how thankful is the Public Utilities Department for all the efforts that the residents of San Diego have done. We, since 2008, have been able to reduce water consumption by 15% with all the population growth, and that really goes back to the efforts of efficient water use and continuing to do what really matters most to reduce water consumption. Three things, has been shared with everybody, but I want to highlight three important programs that if you have the opportunity to look into, I would really urge you to do that. One of them is turf replacement rebate program. The department right now is rebating $1.50 per square foot of turf removal. So I urge you to look into that because once that turf is removed, then water consumption should be going down, and that would be very good for the rest of the water system, that less water would be used. The other thing is, as Council Member Harris mentioned, it's really important that if you are suspecting there might be any water leaks or any inefficient use in your property, please call the department. An individual will be coming to your home free of charge, going over internal and external systems and make sure that there are absolutely no wasteful use of water to try and both save water use and also save you money on your monthly bill. And the third thing is I invite you to visit the Public Utilities Department website and look at all the ways that you can save water. So again, I want to thank you for all the hard work that you've done, and please continue being very careful in your water use. Back to Councilmember Alvarez.
Thank you, Hala. Often I hear from the community, what does government do for me? And three very clear examples right there, what city government can do for you to ensure that you save money and you also save water, do the right thing for the entire region. And part of our region's success, and a regional partner of ours, is the County Water Authority. And Ken Weinberg is here representing the Water Authority, and he wanted to share a few thoughts.
Thank you, Council Member. First, I'd like to thank Councilmember Alvarez and Councilmember Harris and Hala for having me here and having the Water Authority have the opportunity to kind of highlight that this is a regional issue. And the situation we're in, as Councilmember Alvarez says, it's affecting the whole state, including San Diego County. Because of the investments that we've made in facilities and water supplies And the overwhelming response we've gotten from residents and businesses in the city of San Diego and throughout the region and using less water and being more water efficient, we're able to better withstand the drought conditions that are plaguing the rest of the state. But as Councilmember Alvarez also said, we're looking to 2015, and if that becomes dry, that's going to be a different story. And the focus now is really to do whatever we can to be more efficient. And people have really responded in the last several years, but we have to ask them to do some more. And actions like what the city's taking today really helps send that message out, because any water we save this year is water that we leave in storage and can use next year if it's dry. And I really have to commend the city for really not just in the immediate term, but long term, showing real leadership in the region in conservation and water supply. And I think whatever the city does, the rest of the region notices and really takes attention to that. So I think it's really important that we're all focused on doing what we can in the short term to weather this storm, but also in the long term, staying the course for new supplies, being efficient with the water that we do use, and really ensuring that we're protecting our regional economy, which happens to be $188 billion a year. So thank you again for the opportunity, and appreciate any help that we can get, because this is a regional issue and it needs a regional solution and response. Thank you.